Does endless money printing make long-term prosperity impossible?
Do you know this just enters right into what I wanted to say, because as we were trying to decide a new excuse me, a new motto, I was thinking smash the printing press, and that's really what this question is. Um, I I think that inflation is much higher than the polls are saying, and government statistics are saying. I don't trust the government. I don't trust the government on that because they're the ones who are causing the problem. When you look at any, I came across a receipt recently from something I purchased 5 years ago, and compared it to the same thing that I'm buying now, and it's double. And they're doing it with shrinkflation as well as with inflation. But everything you buy now, we're getting so used to lunch costing $20, where it used to be under between 5 and 10. Uh, Gas, of course, has doubled. Now in California, it's only gone up by 50% because we went from $4 to $6. Everyone else went from $2 to $4. So you guys doubled, but in California, we went up by 50%. But it's ridiculous. And it's the endless printing of money. It's the endless um, shutting down the government temporarily, knowing that they're getting a little paid vacation, because as soon as the crisis is passed, they're going to get all of their money that is owed to them. No one actually loses money during these shutdowns. It's a temporary thing where they have to figure out how to pay their mortgage now, but they know they're going to get their money later. And so it doesn't mean anything. The debt ceiling doesn't mean anything. And $40 trillion in debt now, what is that doing to my children, my grandchildren, my great grandchildren? How can these politicians look themselves in the mirror and do this to generations who haven't even been born yet? This could easily end the American dream. Inflation, I think, is right now, it's that and the war in Iran are our two most serious problems right now. That could blow us up, and inflation won't matter because we'll all be dead. But inflation, I think, is our number one problem right now for retirees. Where the money that we saved for 40 years is now worth half what it was 10 years ago, and yet it's the same amount of money, but the buying power has gone way down. People who are trying to save for anything, for a house, for a job, for a business, for a vacation, to come to Freedom Fest, which is absolutely worth it. So you definitely need to come to that. But we understand that times are more difficult, and flights are more expensive, and hotels are more expensive, and we've tried to keep our prices the same, but at the same time, it's going to cost even more in the future. So you're going to look back 2 years from now, and you're going to say that was a bargain. I'm so glad I went. So we hope that we'll see all of you there, and we'll be talking about these issues and so many more at Freedom Fest. And the films that we have this year are amazing. And so many of them do deal with these freedom issues. I have probably a dozen films talking about freedom in other countries, and how freedom is making the difference in some of them. Syria, for example, I have a film about how freedom is changing life and freedom in Syria, in and others where they're just struggling because they're so hungry for freedom. There are some heartbreaking films. One about Cuba's Eternal Night, that is just going to break your heart, but others that are so uplifting because freedom is making the difference in countries that before were really struggling financially. So inflation, yes, is a serious problem. It can be licked, it can be fixed, but it's going to take a resolve that I'm not sure our politicians have, because what they really care about now is votes. And as Valerie mentioned earlier, they all leave Congress with a lot more money than they earned. So if from their salaries. So it should not be a career. It should be a service. I believe strongly in term limits, and I think term limits would also help with the inflation problem, because then they wouldn't be as worried about getting reelected term after term, and they could do what's truly right for the country and not just what's right for themselves.